Welcome to What Conferences Should I Go to and Why? Hey, I'm Eric, and here's a question that I have received many times, and I thought let me do a video on it and give you my perspective. I want to start out by actually saying that you don't need to go to a conference if money is tight, if family planning, travel restrictions, and all that good stuff is making it very difficult for you to participate. Don't worry. Oops, not the microphone. Don't worry. You can have an excellent life with Business Central. Being a customer, being a consultant, a developer, a content provider, and so on, without being at a conference. So I think conferences are, to a certain degree, like sprinkling on a cake. So don't mortgage yourself to go to a conference, because it's not worth it. With that being said, I think that the BC Central, BC Business Central conference landscape is pretty cool, and I enjoy so much going to these things. I enjoy meeting up with you guys. I enjoy giving sessions. I enjoy getting stumped by weird questions. I enjoy helping people figure out what to do. So here, let me. This is a rare occasion. This is once in 100 videos or so, I guess. I have made a PowerPoint. One slide. And as you all know, I have amazing PowerPoint skills. So here is the PowerPoint. So I actually asked, hey, Copilot, create something like this. And not really, no. So anyway, this is done by hand. No AI is involved. I'm not sure there's that much AI involved, though, to be honest. But hey, at least I think I have most of the information I want on this slide. So in my mind, I look at the conference landscape sort of in there's two major seasons. The Wave 1 season in the spring, and to my viewers down under, my spring. And the fall with Wave 2, and then we have some stuff that doesn't really fall into both of these. But let me start at the bottom, because I think actually one of the least thought of but very significant conferences are, and you can say, Eric, that's not a conference, but from a content perspective, they are. And those are the Business Central launch events. So we have one with Wave 1 in April. We have one with Wave 2 in October. And the reason I count these is that is where Microsoft produces all the content. In reality, Microsoft produces two batches of content every year, one for Wave 1, one for Wave 2, and that's all presented at the launch event, and then is reused at the conferences. There's more sessions, there's different sessions, there's more content, and so on. It's not a carbon copy, but the foundation of what's actually being presented, at the launch event, there's a what's new in development, AL, so on. The content of the launch event session will be the same as what's new in AL and development at a conference. Going back to my saying that you don't have to go to a conference to get these information, because there is a conference online and it's free and it's filled with great on-demand knowledge sitting right here on YouTube, available for you to consume. Anyway, so the actual conferences, the physical, in-person conferences, and let me start in the spring. The big one, depending on your perspective, if you're in the industry working for a partner, a developer, a consultant, and so on, the big one is Directions. and there's a bit of confusion sometimes that Direction North America is not the same as Directions in Europe. It's has the same name, but it's two completely different organizations putting them on. They're very good friends. They cooperate and so on, but it's two completely different organizations putting them on. And you can see that the logos is different and so on. Directions in North America is smaller than in Europe. There are simply more people working in Business Central industry in Europe as a whole than there is in North America. It's a very nice conference. I enjoy that very much. We were in Vegas this year. Next year is in Orlando, and always enjoy that. If you want to come and meet people from the Microsoft product team in person in North America, this is your best chance. This is where the concentration of people from the product team, this is where they show up. So if that is your goal, Directions is the place. Directions is for partners, not for end users. I have seen the odd end user show up once in a while, but it is a conference for the partners nonetheless. There's also 8 Directions in the spring. That is the Asia Directions. I have never been. I have heard great stories about Directions in Asia. It's something I want to go to, and I want to meet our Asian based community. It is what I classify as a plane, trains, and automobiles kind of conference for me, coming from the Western Canada to Vietnam this year or next year. It's a journey. So let me know in the comments if you thought it would be cool if I attended that one. It's a long way. Anyway, again, Direction for partners. This one is put on by the same organization as the European organization. So this is not put on based on the North American organization, but the European organization. So the 2 other conferences we have in the spring are, one is Dynamics Con, which is a fairly new conference, started up during COVID as a virtual conference. Then they put on a small in-person conference in 2020 in Anaheim in California. We were just one room with the BC people, and that was actually in the fall at that point. But it was nice. It has grown and grown and grown, and it was were there 2,000 people at the last one, which was in, wow, I can't remember anymore. Anyway, we had fun. So DynamicsCon has an end user oriented content. There's not that many people from Microsoft from the product team. I think there were 2. It covers all Dynamics and Power, so you have the chance to look at things from the other products. The expo is also oriented for not just by Business Central, but have vendors from a lot of different areas of the world of Dynamics. They have this Comic-Con inspired superhero theme. Great conference, always good fun, and they seem to be on a great great road to become even bigger. The other one in the spring I have never attended. Again, this is Dynamics Minds in Slovenia, I think. Again, for me, it's a planes, trains, automobiles, another train and another automobile kind of way. That's a long way from Western Canada. They go with the magic theme. They also cover not only Business Central but the other Dynamics products. I've never been. If you have opinions on that conference, should I go? Let me know in comments. I hear great things. It's far away from me, but I think the far away thing is going back to my initial statement, right? You don't have to go to a conference if it's expensive. But the thing is that if your choice is between something in Vegas and in Slovenia, well, whatever's closest to you will give you a lot of content. So have that in mind also. Okay, let me jump to the other side, to the fall. The big one, without a doubt, is Directions EMEA, which is the biggest conference for Business Central in the world. I think they had over 3,000 attendees last year, and they're probably setting new records again this year. I would be surprised if they didn't. This year we're going to be in Poznan in Poland, a great city. So that's going to be fun. I will be there. Both doing a session or two, and there will be a Hogarth.com booth in the expo. So come by and say hi there if you're around. Again, Directions is for partners. This is the biggest list of people from the product team. So while Directions is ongoing, Copenhagen, Lyngby is emptied out basically. No, they're not. But there's a lot of people from the product team here. So if your goal is to meet as many people from the product team as possible, that is your best chance. Because again, moving people from Copenhagen to Poland is much easier than moving people from Copenhagen to Vegas or Orlando. The other big one happening in the fall is Community Summit, and Community Summit is for end users. They used to have there's a tagline up here: by partners for partners, and Community Summit had the for users by users, something like that, a tagline also. And Community Summit is based on Dynamics communities. So there are meetups, and there is online things, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Community Summit over the year. This is this is happening in North America. This is in Orlando this year. Community Summit is focused on end users. There are typically a few Microsoft people showing up, handful perhaps. But it is very much end user oriented. This is not they have a technical part of the sessions, but this is not a developer conference, not at all. A lot of the more technical sessions are more also suited to if you have a developer at a customer or somebody. I'm doing a bit of report customizations and so on. I really enjoy Community Summit. It is a great conference. It's it's the conference that invented the Medic booth, and the Medic booth was. This goes back to like 2016, 17. I can't even remember when we did it the first time. So like we created the NAV Medic booth. So we dressed up in white robes and then people came with the problems, and we helped them as well as we could. And the interesting thing is that like an end user conference, for me, I meet somebody who goes to the conference, and that someone was sitting in the accounting department somewhere, and so somebody else is covering their shift while they're at the conference having fun. So a lot of them come prepared with like a list of questions, because hey, you go to the conference, get answers to all these things that we want to know. So sitting at the Medic booth and people come with the list of questions and you sort them out and help them, I think is super cool. I get so much inspiration to doing videos and so on from all those conversations, and I can see that the concept of the Medic booth have slowly caught on at some of the other places. They say, oh, that's actually pretty cool. But Summit did it first, so kudos to them for that. That was very nice. And then in the middle, I have some of the floaters. There's the famous NAV Tech Days, BC Tech Days, which I guess technically perhaps is still in the spring, not really. I think it was in June this year. And this is I have never been. This has always been difficult to schedule. Plane, trains, and automobiles crossing oceans again. It has been hard to justify. I want to go at some point. This is the most technical of them all. Where Microsoft shows stuff that they don't necessarily show at the launch event. This is for developers wherever they may be. So at partners, at end users, at ISVs, and so on. So yeah, at some point I will go. Then there's a couple of other that is hard to put in the spring or fall buckets. One is the Community Summit Roadshow. So what Community Summit do is that they take some of the stuff that has been presented at Community Summit and build a one-day conference as a roadshow that travels around. We had them visit us here in Vancouver, and they are everywhere. So and I believe these are free to attend. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So again, going back to my original statement, maybe there's a roadshow suddenly in your neighborhood that you should perhaps have the opportunity to go and participate in. Then our friends at Directions EMEA, and this is the company behind this is called Directions for Partners. They put on something called Days of Knowledge, which I think originally was only one day, so it was a day of knowledge. Now it's Days of Knowledge. So this is like a more deep learning focused conference, meant to be more local. So something you can drive to, that's cheaper to attend, and they put one on in Denmark. I took the logo of the UK one, and I think there's in German. Check the website. We had one in Atlanta. That was a lot of fun. So again, the idea is, hey, let's bring some of this content out to those places where there is a concentration of Business Central users, developers, and so on. So that is the landscape. I'm sitting here thinking, is there something I have forgotten? There probably is, and I think it's your turn to keep me honest in the comments. What have I forgotten that I totally should put on my list? What should I visit? There's probably stuff going on like in Australia that I have no clue about. That I should have a clue about. So to any of my Australian viewers, let me know down here. But that's how I see the landscape of conferences. If you want to go to only one, you can select any of them, and you'll get a great conference, a lot of content. If you go to all of them, you will see that there's a lot of repeats. Not only the Microsoft repeats, there's lots of repeats from people like me, where I do a session at one conference and then I reuse it at the next one. So I think that's just the nature of this community we're in. So spend your money wise, and go check out some AL hacking in this video, because we didn't really hack anything in this one, but this one, AL hacking, I'm sure of it. See you there. Take care. Bye.